Okay, legit. I'm gonna go over the dollar yen with you, okay? So, um, I've had a bearish bias on the dollar yen, and I spoke about if we looked at August 2015 pattern, right, where all the euro crosses were rallying and the yen pairs were dropping and gold was going up, and so far similar thing has happened, not to that extent, but it's still the moves that we had then, we haven't had that yet, but we've still had the same direction. So if we look at dollar yen, right, obviously we can see it's weak. I mean, looking at the monthly, you know I wouldn't want to long this. If I was going to long it, it would be short term only. But so far so good. So this low is 108.80. So we took that up previously, and my targets for this was let's go on to the daily for this. Sorry, yeah, daily. Let's go on to this. So this low is comes in at around 108.12, right? So that would be next target. Call it 108.10. Then this high here, which comes in around 107.50s, and then the 107 level here. So I've spoken about this before. 108.10, 107.50, 107. And I think it's gonna go a lot lower, but these are just short-term targets. So today when I was looking at dollar yen, right, I wanted it to spike up, right, take out these highs here and possibly push down, or even just come into this resistance here. It didn't do that, which is fine. So that tells me this market is really weak now. If it doesn't do the way you expect it to, then you're gonna be prepared for the other side. So if I mark out the weekly open, right, which is the strategy I spoke about previously, where if I'm not sure where the high is going to be, I'll just wait for the weekly open, which is at 109.334. So if I mark that out, so first of all we mark out where I think price is going to go. So I'll have to work backwards. I've got a bias in mind which is bearish. Then I mark out where is my targets, and then I go backwards and I say, okay, is it doing as I expect it to? So if I mark out the 109.334, I'll do that in a different color. Okay, so this is the Asia. I mean, the market opened Sunday, and then Asia made a high. We ran up, and I said earlier, so here I was looking for a long actually, but I waited, and it pushed up, took out that high here, and rejected. When I got the rejection, I go, okay, my longs are off now. And at the same time, we're having gold rally. When gold rally, dollar yen usually falls down. And right now, we're having a drop. Some Kim Jong-un's dropped some news event, but hopefully, if I get a retracement, I don't think I'm going to get much of a retracement the way it's looking. But if we draw out support and resistance lines here, so see this here, resistance. So if I go to the 4 hour, right, it's probably a bit clearer. 4 hour, you can see resistance, resistance. Ignore the candles, right? We had wicks above, but it's mainly the bodies, folks. I mean, bodies. Here you can focus on the candles. Resistance, support, resistance. Up here, then below it, resistance on these candles, and then we find resistance here. So it's a natural resistance level. Now, before all this happened, it doesn't really mean much to me because I was hoping for higher prices. But if it reacts above that and goes in the direction I want it to, then okay, now it's significant. Okay, so we had a consolidation here. And last week, right, if you look on the weekly candle, last week and the week before that, I mean, we had wicks here, but hardly any for a body. So now I think we're going to get more of a direction. We've had no real direction here. Just stop rate, take out that high there, take out this low there. That weekly, the stops on the weekly basis, high and low were taken. Then inside week, now I think it's going to go the way we wanted to. So if our market is consolidated, we've broken out of this consolidation now. Ideally, if you had a retest of this here, I'd look to short it, right? But the way it's looking to me, I don't think we are. But if we do, happy days. But any pullbacks, and then see if we get a breakdown from there, I'll look to enter. I know where my target is. This low here, obviously, then the 108.10, 107.50, 107. So I'll have to go with what price is giving me. Ideally, I would like a retest. So this would be like a retest into this support area here. With support and resistance. If we don't get it, then I'm gonna have to see what the market gives me. So far, is that clear to you?
Yes.
Okay, so the main thing is where I think the market's gonna go. Getting on board isn't too much of a problem because I'll wait for as price unfolds, I'll wait for that. So we've had price move above the weekly open, and the fact that if you look on a weekly basis, the wick isn't that big. It's a small wick, which is a good, and we're having price break out of that consolidation, which is a good sign because it shows this market is ready to just collapse quick. It doesn't really want to do much of a retracement, which that's how I read it. So, you know, I sacrificed all these pips, you know, not picking the high, but letting it show me the high is in to get on board later on. So that's a for me, and for now, it's confirmed to me. Obviously, we have end of the month and we have NFP this week. Things can always change, so we gotta prepare for that. But as it's looking so far it's following the plan I wanted to. I mean, on the 5-minute basis, we did retest that. But time of day, I'm not happy taking the trade, and there was no real clear short setup. Yes, I could have shorted this with a stop there, but I'm not. It wasn't clear for me. So if I'm gonna put big, you know, decent money behind this, I want it to be clear. So I'll wait. There'll be more opportunities. Now the reason why I want to focus on these yen pairs is because it's the same theme across the board. All these yen pairs are starting to look weak to me. I mean, I spoke about this monthly candle on the dollar pound yen. So we had this high, this monthly candle here, right? And we had then they had this monthly candle. So it was just not much of a body. It was just like, you know, hardly any, just wicks. But look at the significance of this. We run up, took out this month's high here, then closed within. Then we open this month candle and we're starting to create a body. Now if it's taking the stops above that monthly high there, where's the next stop's going to be? Below this here. I've spoken about this previous market review video, and I still think this is on. Now if we mark this out, the low is 138.665. that would be my next target. 138.665. okay, call it 138.70, you know. Now where has price gone into? Let's mark out support and resistance levels. If I go into the daily, right, we got sorry, 4 hours clearer. Okay, so we got support,
Yep.
some support there, resistance, support. Yes, we break through it, come back down, but support. So this is a significant level. We've had big reactions off this level in the past. We had a 240 odd pip reaction there. Even these small reactions, that's like a 90, 100 pip reaction. This. So that's how I define my support and resistance levels, okay? And if I just fine tune that a bit lower, here, I'm just looking at the most recent reactions here and here. Even this, right? If you look at this bit of a wick there, go down to the H1. Even that's about 40 pip reaction. But here, resistance, support, resistance, okay? We had a nice reaction of it. All the other yen pairs are showing similar price action to that. So when all these correlated pairs give me a similar price action, that gains my interest now. So for this, I'd want to see a retest. Now, what I don't like is we've already retested it here, just like the dollar yen. But I know most probable that it's going to want to take out these lows here based off the monthly chart. So from current price action, it's 200 pips away. Now I could enter it here, stop loss there, 70 pips and 200 pips. That's nearly a 3 yard, just under a 3 yard. I can do that, but obviously I'm happy to get on board another 50-60 pips later, but get a tighter stop and more of a as more price action develops, there'll be more price action, more to work with. So as it stands, if this low gives in, then I'll be using this as a resistance, right? So I'll be waiting for this to break. So if I get a clean break, then I'll wait for a retest of this level here and then look to play it lower. Okay, now things may change as price unfolds, but as it stands, that's what I'll be looking for. That's pound yen. So that's another yen pair that's confluencing with my idea. Let's go over to the CAD yen. CAD yen, if I look on the if I go to the monthly, we had a monthly, we've taken out these highs here into our resistance level here, right? Took out this month high, these had monthly highs, then close back within. So if this was a range, right? Well, it's not really a range. I mean, it's quite even as a short-term target, like going to the daily or 4 hour. Let me just mark out resistance. So that's a key level anyway. The fact that we've come off of that and taken the stops, that shows to people we want to push lower. Probably go to the next level down. So if I go to the 4 hour and mark this out, sorry, see that here? We've got so resistance, support, support, resistance, up again. We spiked up, took it at this height, then dropped. That's significant now. That's all showing me that's going to hold. So I believe that we're going to want to take out these stops. Going along with what the other yen pairs are saying, a couple of hundred pips sell off. This makes sense. This is only 128 pips. Personally, I believe we're going to come into here at least. Target 1, target 2. I'm not even interested in these targets. Yes, these lows are here as well. But if I'm correct on the big dollar yen drop that's going to come, I believe this one and this one's going to be next. Let's go to the daily. If we go to the daily, that's a key level here. That's a high there. We had a 130 pip reaction off of that. So that's going to be the next level I think it's going to reach. So if that gets taken, then it's going to be this one. So that's what I believe is going to happen. So another, let me just go another PM pair. Aussie yen, similar scenario. Go to the monthly. We've taken out these highs here and we're closing back within this range. So going on to the daily chart, this is going to be the target for the Aussie yen. Shorter term, these lows here. So from current market price action, that's 85, 124. I mean, even if you just go in and out, play from one level to the other, that's fine. And that's how I've been forced to play the markets lately, in and out, one level to the other. When I try to hold, it hasn't really worked. So I'm happy to stay trading it. If you look here, support, support, resistance, resistance, nice level here. And I think we were starting to break down. I like the fact that we've run up, taken out these highs, and smaller level here. If you look intraday or here, see that there?
I do.
So that's like a breaker there. So all the yen pairs, they're showing similar theme. Now, how do I play on board? Now, oh yeah, New Zealand, same thing. I'm not gonna keep repeating all the pairs. All of them are the same, and we had a gold rally up. Look at it, gold's just opened. What did I say? I said to you 12.15, didn't I? It opened at 12.15. You know, we were speaking about this before.
Yeah, what level did? Yeah, the level you spoke about.
Around the 12.14, I think. With the open was the 13.14.8. Yeah, near the 13.15 level.
Ooh.
So 13.20 is next on the cards for this one, unless he's already touched it. Yeah, I think he's gonna rip. Looking at the weekly range, I think he's gonna take out this side here. We'll go back to gold, but it's all following the same theme. When gold goes up, the yen pairs go down. So it's going to plan so far. Wow, this is going without me, but I'll do the analysis on it anyway. So one thing I could wait for is if all the yen pairs get into some resistance level at the same time. So for example, if I've got this level here, right, and if this gets up into resistance, and then I've got the CAD yen, pound yen, and dollar yen into resistances at the same time, and then I'll go to the 5-15 minute chart and I'll wait for a breakdown. So for example, right, if I had some sort of price action, like for example, if I had, this is just an example, okay, not saying it's gonna work, but
yeah,
so make come here, then come down, short term high. I like to sell once the stops have been taken. Why? Because I can place my stop loss there, and that's my level there. And if I got a breakdown, so this is the level that's formed, breakdown, this here should be safe. So when people ask me for my breakdown, this is what I look for. Short into that, down. And if all the other yen pairs are giving me this similar price action at the same time, then that's a loaded deal for me. Okay.
yeah,
So if it goes, this is a potential level. I don't know if this is going to hold or not, or even if it's going to come back to it. But if it does come back to it, and at the same time, for the other yen pairs are into a resistance level, like at least a H1. I want to see at least a H1, H4 level. You know, lower time
yeah,
frames are just for entries. I always play at the daily H4 levels. But if all the other yen pairs are just giving me the similar breakdowns from a key level, then that would give me the confluence to say, and the confidence to short it then. But aside from that, I mean, I'm gonna have to sit on my hands. This could well just sell off without me, like it's doing now. Well, I can't really do much about that, so I have to look for another level.
very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, we've got this level here as well, because this level here caused a 100 pip rally. So
Yeah,
we'll have to wait. Ideally, I would love it for it to come to here. Can it come to here? I don't know, but we'll have to see. When we spoke earlier, I was gonna short it here, but I wasn't comfortable because outside the time zone. I like to stay. If I want to take yen pairs, it's usually after 11:30
Yeah.
UK time that I looked for it, and because it was outside my kill zone, I didn't. But maybe I could have done a small risk, but you know I can't. I didn't take it. It's not my trade, so there's no point bitching about it. But we'll have to see. So that's the yen pairs done. Let me have a quick look at the euro. Really did much of that, and then but the main focus of this session was just the yen pairs. Yeah, euro I still think it's gonna go to the 121. The charts are posted on Twitter, so I'm not gonna go over that. But this session was just about the yen pairs. Okay, has that been clear?
Very.
Do you have any questions?
No, because you've answered them. I was interested in the dollar yen dropping.
Yeah.
You marked out. We
So
wanted the retracement,
this
but
was
you
the
covered
level
that.
you sent this to me earlier on in the
Mhm.
daytime. Well, it was on was it Sunday or this morning? You sent it to me. You sent me this
Yeah,
your dollar yen chart for me to check, um, and so and you asked me, will this hold? I wasn't even interested in the dollar until you sent it to me, and I said to you, let's just wait. If we see a
exactly.
breakdown from it, then that is now interesting to me, because till then you were going for the shorts, but I was still thinking it's gonna go up. So you were right on that. But you know what changed my bias was when this got taken, and then we had a sell off and the gold going up. That's what changed my bias. And that's why I said to you, when you're trading dollar yen, have a look at the gold market and
Yeah.
swim.
But this is
So
one thing I didn't know about the gold market. If that's going up, it's opposite to the dollar yen.
it's like a safe haven thing. I mean, I'm not the best to ask about it, but all I can see whenever I see dollar yen rip or drop, gold is the opposite. So
Yeah.
when the yen is bid, then gold gets bid. So that's all I need
That
to
dollar
know.
yen
Yeah,
strong dropping though. Boy.
yeah. So is there no more questions? Because I'll stop the recording and upload it.
That's perfect. Clear. Thank
So
you. I
even though you
appreciate it.
haven't taken the trade, it's nice to see it the way you expected it to. So so
Well,
in these scenarios, right, one thing we could do is have a small position. And so, for example, once we broke out of this range, right, where should it not go? Even if it's a small position, if it's giving us 2R, if you're confident on the setup, and if it's given
yes.
at least more than 1R, right, well, you could say, okay, this is where I'll start talking about sell stops and buy stops. But we could say, well, we could have shorted it here, right, if we're confident.
Yeah.
Where should it not go? You tell me, where should it not go?
You know, go back above that.
What level? Show me the level.
I can't do it on my mouse, but I'll see if you can run your the.
Is it this high here or this high here?
Let's have a look because I can't really see your mouse. Go slower. I don't know, there's some lag on my ass better. So which high were you giving me the
No,
option
no, I
of?
want you to tell me. I want you to tell me which high would you go for?
Okay, then I would not be going above the red line anyway.
Okay. So this is where I differ. Like sometimes, right, I differ. For example, if I've got a range marked out, right? For example, if this is my range, then if
Yeah,
I'm correct, I shouldn't go back to the other top of the side of the range. So to be safe, what I would do, right? So for example, if I shorted it here, right? So that's the range, and
yeah,
like I said, if I shorted it at the close of this candle here, and see this
yeah.
is pushed up then pushed back down, and then say if it comes back below this range, you could say, okay, I've shorted it here on this
You
bearish
should not.
candle,
You
right?
should not go at the top of that spike.
Then ideally you shouldn't really go above there, but I'd say,
Yeah,
okay, if you want to be safe, you can keep a 48 pip stop. And what's the target? I mean, if you're going for these targets here, so short term, target 1 is 80 pips, that's over 1 hour.
yeah,
Target 2 is 145 pips. So it's not the greatest amount of R, but it's still more than 1 hour, and it is a high probability setup. So
yes,
that is another example, a trade, we're gonna go over, and how even if it's a small R, if it's a valid setup, it's a valid setup. So what I tend to do, right, if I take a small position, I'll take that trade and treat that independently, and then any other yen or any other setup I get at the same pair, I'll treat that as a separate trade. Do you know what I mean?
yes,
That's
yes.
two trades, but some people agree with that, some people don't. It works for me, and I'll go over it with you anyway. So
Okay.
the short I would have taken here with a stop loss above there,
Over there,
going
yeah,
for
over
say
the
the
red
two
line,
R,
yeah.
going for the 2 hour, that is separate, and then any other setup I look for after that, that is independent of this trade I've taken. I treat them
Yes,
both separately, because this is a longer, wider stop, and more of a swing trade. Then I leave the stop as it is. But for the shorter term day trade ones, I'm quick to cut it quick, or do whatever. So
Yeah.
now that this has happened, I would not want to see price go above this spike. So that initial position that you could have taken that we spoke about, we could reduce the stop down here. That's what I would have
Yeah.
done. But with experience, you'll have to do that yourself and see what
Mm-hmm.
works and what doesn't. Personally, I would do that, but you may have another. So is that clear?
That is clear.
So let me
Yes.
stop the recording here and
Thank you.
for next time.